Hi, my name is Damon Brown of DamonBrown.net. My thing is helping you as a solopreneur, as a side hustler, or as an other non-traditional entrepreneur. Again, you can learn more about me at DamonBrown.net. Today we're talking about why the most successful creatives love routine. When I was growing up and when I was in grad school and talking to other creatives, I've been creative for a while as a journalist, later as an author, and of course now as an entrepreneur and a public speaker and as a coach. I believed, as many creatives believe, that you want to be spontaneous, and creativity requires you being free form and free flowing and a free spirit and all those things. But as I've gotten older and I've listened to a lot of people that I love in the different fields, whether it's writing or building businesses or whatever, they love routine. I've learned to love routine too. It allows you actually more freedom by being able to contain all these different things. If you know that you have the structure in place, then you have the freedom to put your mind elsewhere. There's a couple parts to this that I want to break down. Number one, if you have some type of routine, then you have the power of habit. You have a cadence. For instance, I have a weekly newsletter. It's at join. I don't even know the name of my website. JoinDamon.me. If you go to JoinDamon.me, you can sign up for this free newsletter. It comes out every Wednesday at 5:55 a.m. My brain knows that at 5:55 a.m. on Wednesday, I better have a newsletter ready for y'all. And so it creates a cadence, a rhythm. I love music. There's a John Coltrane picture over there, which you can barely see on that side. But I love the rhythm. I love the cadence. And so that creates a habit for the people I serve, you, but also creates a habit for me. And so my brain knows Wednesday, hey, you better say something creative. You better say something that adds value to the people who are giving their attention to you, the people who are taking the time to join you on your journey so that you can join them on their journey. So you better create within that system. Writers from Ernest Hemingway to other folks would have their routines, whether it's waking up at 4 in the morning, sitting in front of their typewriter, and just sitting there for 7 hours. And sometimes they get 2 words out, sometimes they get 2,000, but it doesn't matter. They have that habit, they have that routine. It allows them to be consistent and showing up. Stephen Pressfield talks about this in his excellent book, The War of Art, where he had writer's block for, I think, years. And then suddenly he kept sitting in the seat and suddenly everything hit him. And I got to know him personally recently, and he's one of the most prolific authors that I know. And I've done 7 books in 4 years, and I'm calling him prolific. So I really mean that. But that comes from the cadence, that comes from the routine. So think about establishing those routines, and then you're able to get into the rhythm of being creative consistently, which is really, if you're a professional creative, that's really what you want. Seth Godin said it best. We don't want authenticity, we want consistency. Right? So if I'm in a certain mood when I'm doing a keynote, and I'm in another mood when I'm doing another keynote, it's like, well, that's not what I was expecting from Damon. But if I'm showing up every Wednesday at 5:55 a.m. and I'm giving my best and my all to you, that's what you come there for. If you hire me to do a keynote and I'm speaking on the stage, I'm giving the same quality or the best quality I can compared to last time, that's what you want. You don't want to wait to be inspired, is what I'm getting at. So number one, you get into the power of habit. Number two is the freedom of choice, which I love this one because it's such a contradiction. What we assume, especially new creatives or when I was much younger, is that if we end up creating a structure, I'm going to work on my play on Tuesdays. I'm going to work on clients on Wednesdays. I'm going to work on my book on Thursday. I'm going to have coaching meetings on Friday. Whatever that structure is, we assume that that's confining and that will hurt our spirit. It will be harder to be creative. It's actually the opposite. And there's folks from Chase Jarvis who's talked about this, who's a co-founder of Creative Live. I recommend his book, Creative Calling, to other people who are doing, Seth Godin, other people who are doing cool creative work and coaches or guidance like I am, talk about that, how routines help them so much. But we're also able to get into the power of choice. What I mean by the power of choice is if you think about the late Steve Jobs, I lived in Silicon Valley and was there when he passed away. He would always wear black turtleneck and what we call mom jeans. Nothing sexy about it, nothing cool about it. Steve Jobs himself was cool, but his but he wore it like every day, every single day, right? If you ask someone who knows familiar with Silicon Valley or startups, it says, you say black turtleneck, they're gonna be like, oh, Steve Jobs, even though he's been dead for more than a decade now. The thing is that because he wore the same thing, he could focus on doing amazing products. He could focus on changing the culture. He can focus on making $1 trillion business. That's what he could focus on. Almost every day, particularly when I'm working, I have peanut butter and jelly sandwich for lunch. That's it. It's so common. My family actually got me a peanut butter and jelly t-shirt. Maybe I should have worn it for this talk. But do you understand what I'm saying? But they know that's my routine. But if I'm in the middle of having a video conversation with you, or I'm having a one-on-one conversation with one of my coaching clients, or I'm talking about consulting for someone, or I'm writing an article for Inc. for my Inc. column at inkdamonbrown.com, or I'm taking care of my kids, because they're at home when they're still little, all those other things, I do not need to think about lunch. I'm not like, well, what am I going to have for lunch? And spending 5 minutes on that. Nope, peanut butter and jelly. If I want something different, it'll pop in my head. Other than that, it's going to be peanut butter and jelly. That gives me the freedom to put all this energy towards you, and towards my family, and towards my career, and towards my health. Not worrying about lunch. And so that freedom of choice actually allows you to put your energy and your thought process in other things. Barry Schwartz talks about this in his popular TED Talk. I think it's called The Paradox of Choice, which is also the name of his popular book. I talk about it briefly in, again, my upcoming book, Built From Now, January 2021. You can pre-order it from me at damonbrown.net, or go and get it at your favorite bookstore. Pre-order for me, though, you can go and get the extra early goodies for being a pre-order person, customer, whatever. But I talk about that in there, where we get so many choices, particularly nowadays with our generation, we get so many choices that by the time we have to do big choices, we don't have the energy. You decide what kind of ketchup you want at the grocery store. There's like 100 different ketchups. I love ketchup. So that's an example. 100 different ketchups. Forget brands. There's like organic, there's green ketchup, there's ketchup with mustard in it, I swear to God. Like all kinds of things. You making all those decisions throughout your day, by the time you get to something important, like being in there for whom you serve, you don't have the capacity for it. So if you automate, for lack of a better term, some of those choices and get into daily routines, it allows you to have the energy to give to the people that you truly want to serve. So think about creating routines and building those things in. Number one, it primes, which is the word I was looking for earlier, it primes your mind to be creative in a consistent way. You want consistency. As Seth Godin says, you don't want authenticity. You want consistency. You want to show up in a certain way to serve the people that you want to serve in a certain way. So creating that habit builds consistency. Number two, it gives you the freedom of choice. I don't have to think about what I'm going to have lunch for tomorrow, because I know I'm going to eat. Steve Jobs didn't have to think about what wardrobe he was going to have at the next Apple keynote when he was alive, because everybody knew what he was going to wear. He just went to a closet, took a shower, put it on. That's it. He could focus on being fully present there. And that's what we want at the end of the day, isn't it? Particularly as a creative. If you want more insight into your resources and how you can maximize them, come on over to buildfromnowquiz.com. It's buildfromnowquiz.com. It's based on my upcoming book, Built From Now, January 2021, but it's available now, even after the book comes out. It will give you insight into your biggest resource. It is free. It's 3 or 4 questions, multiple choice. It's really simple. Hundreds of y'all have taken it, which I so appreciate. And that insight will give you insight into how you can master whatever your main resource is. And if you want to read the book, it'll prime you really good for the book and give you even more insight to what I'm delving into that. Anyway, look forward to connect with you in the near future. And remember to always bring your worth, and that you can always build from now. Take care.